Hey guys, if you find yourself in debt currently, then you don't need somebody like me telling you all the ways that people find themselves in that situation because you already know. You're living it. This video is going to show you how to get from a debt mindset to a wealth mindset. So stay tuned. Hey guys, this is Thomas Knapp with Financial Empowerment. So today we're talking about how to get from a debt mindset to a wealth building mindset. Again, we talked about if you're in debt currently, you don't need a bunch of examples, but for those that are in high school, or maybe those folks that just haven't even gotten your first job out of college yet, and you haven't really had a chance to necessarily totally understand the life decisions that can lead to debt. Here's a few mindsets that people sometimes take on that lead to them getting in debt. One example is waiting to the end of the month to put any money away in savings. The problem is there's usually not any money left at the end of the month with this mentality. Another example is using the monthly payments and the down payments to determine whether or not you can afford an item instead of looking at the total cost of the item. In business, sometimes people use leverage in order to scale and grow their business because it adds in potential earnings that will pay off that debt. But in personal finance, using leverage, you're not increasing your income by spending more money. So there's no extra income coming in to pay off the debt. So this mindset of just looking at the monthly payments, you're going to be stuck with those monthly payments for the whole term of the loan. And if anything in your situation changes and your income decreases, now you don't have the money in order to pay off that loan and you find yourself in a negative situation. Also, if you disagree with anything that I'm saying in this video, please put it in the comments so we can talk about it. There's always an exception to the rule, so if that's you, then let us know. So shifting from a debt mindset to a wealth mindset looks more like this. Automatically transferring money from a checking account to a savings account, to a high yield savings account, or into an investment account is a habit that you set up as part of your monthly spending plan. So you're not waiting to the end of the month and just seeing what's left over. If I have some money, I guess I'll save it. You're intentionally planning to save a certain amount of money. And usually you're gonna set that up as a percentage of your income. But to start, you might just be transferring 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, you're gonna start off with a small amount and you're gonna build up to that, these muscles of managing your money and building wealth. As you flex and strengthen these muscles, you're gonna start to be able to make more margin, figure out what's important to you, what can you add, what can you cut out, and even how can you increase your income, and slowly over time, this will build wealth. One thing that Dave Ramsey says is that your most powerful wealth building tool is your income. So if you spend all of your income, you can't build wealth. You have to create that margin. You're gonna wanna use your money, use that margin that you create to invest and to collect assets, as opposed to spending all your money on liabilities. Let's talk about what the difference between an asset and a liability is. Broken down to simple terms, an asset is something that's going to hold its value or increase in value over time. Think about purchasing a house. Typically, when you buy a house, 10 years later, that house is gonna be worth more. Now, if you sold it at a time where the market was down, or if you bought it at a time where the market was high, it doesn't mean that any given day, the value is always gonna be more. Again, it's not necessarily linear. The value might go up and down, but over time, it's gonna go up. Assets are things that increase in value over time. Liabilities, on the other hand, are things that cost you money. Think of buying a car. When you buy a car and you drive it off the car lot, it immediately goes down in value. In addition to the value decreasing, it also costs you money to own it. You have to put gas in it, that costs money. You have to do repairs, that costs money. You have to do just regularly scheduled maintenance. All those things cost money. And so owning a car doesn't build wealth. You're not gaining at the end of it. If you buy a car and 10 years later sell the car, unless it's some sort of collector's item, you're not actually increasing the value. So that is a liability. It is decreasing. Your wealth is going down with a liability over time, whereas with an asset, your wealth is going up. So if you find that every month you're typically spending your money on liabilities instead of assets, then over time you're either broke or you're going into debt. If you're spending money on assets, then over time those assets will build wealth over time. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme of any kind. This is just solid, big-picture financial money management tips. Obviously, the more income you have or the less money that you spend, the faster this wealth-building process is. But the techniques of creating margin and whatever that margin is, putting that aside and starting to build your wealth, these habits will, over time, build wealth. And you reach what is called financial independence when you reach a level of investments where the money that your investments earn for you is more than the amount of money you get paid by the job that you're going to. That frees you up because now your money is basically making enough money to pay you more than your salary. That gives you freedom because now you don't have to go to work. You can choose to go to work, but you don't have to anymore. Retirement is a number, not an age. So once you reach a certain financial threshold and a certain accumulation of this wealth, then you can retire. You don't need to keep working. One measuring stick for wealth is called net worth. Net worth is basically taking all of those assets, adding all those up, and taking all of your liabilities, including debt, and adding those up. And again, just like when you were trying to figure out where you started this whole process, whether or not on a monthly basis you're either in debt, broke, or wealthy, your net worth is another overall picture of where you are. So you take all your assets, subtract all your liabilities, and you have a number. This net worth is kind of your health of your financial situation. And a net worth can be negative. Meaning, if you have debt and you don't have any money in savings, then your net worth is actually a negative amount. No, I want you to notice that I said a negative net worth, not a negative self-worth. You are worth more than money. Sometimes we've made mistakes in our lives, and that's okay. We might not be where we want to be financially. That's okay. But you can change your mindset, change your behaviors, and start to take steps to build wealth over time. So you're not stuck where you are. I don't want you to feel like you as a person are a failure because your net worth might be less than you want it to be. You are valuable and you have value to your community and to your job, to the world. Now is the time to make those changes to your mindset and start to change your behaviors to get from the debt mindset into a wealth building mindset. You can do this, and I'm rooting for you, and I'm here for you along the way. If you need help with determining your net worth or calculating it, especially if you have more than one, say, retirement account from more than one job and it's just hard to kind of keep it all in one place, there is an online tool that helps you do this. I have it linked in the description. It's called Personal Capital. Personal Capital is free to use, but if the tools are free, then how do they make their money? That's a perfect question that you should be asking. As it turns out, they are also financial advisors, and so over time, as you build wealth and your investments are growing, the advisors will reach out to you and offer their services. It is a very low-key, just sort of, hey, we have these services, and then you can say no and continue to use everything for free. It's pretty much a know, like, and trust model. If you're using their services and their free tools to keep track of your net worth and you trust them as a company, then they would be the first person you would think of to get advising advice from. So that's the model. So all the tools that they offer are completely free for you to use for as long as you want. As you make these changes in your mindset and your behaviors, you'll be able to see in real time the effects that these changes have on your net worth. And it updates every time you log in, so you'll be looking at the most accurate, up-to-date picture of your wealth every time you log in. So that's how you can get from the debt mindset into a wealth building mindset, and how you can use some software to help track that process so that you can receive that encouragement along the way. Remember, try to surround yourselves with people that have like mindsets so that you can sharpen each other and work towards the goals together, instead of being surrounded by people who are in debt and don't have a problem being in debt, and they're going to encourage you to continue to stay in debt. So take the steps with your behavior, with your mindset, and also with your community in order to start to build wealth together. And if you found this information helpful, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and also go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It helps us reach more people with this content. As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. Let's help encourage everybody and lift everybody up together. Check back next time for more wealth building and money management tips. And if you liked this video, then you're definitely gonna like these videos. You can check out a playlist here, and you can just head straight to the channel and subscribe, and also check out all the other videos that I have to help benefit you with your wealth building journey. Money management is a mindset, so stay empowered, and we will see you next time.